Hi everyone, this is meowmurai. Let's continue our game of Alone in the Dark, 2024, running on PlayStation 5. And again, we're playing Edward, 8-bit Edward. And I think we just got the last chapter to finish out. Well, we've got to get to chapter 5 and finish that out, but chapter 5 is pretty small, or pretty short. Alright, this section unfortunately is not short, so we're going to be spending a couple minutes here at least. Oh, ankle biters. I didn't have time to like raise my oar. That's how annoying these things are. Like, sorry, do you want to defend yourself? I think not.
The boat's wedged itself right into the bayou. If I get the motor started, I could try reversing back into the river.
Jeremy, where are you?
Please don't answer if you're dead. Yes, find a way to get below deck. I gotcha. Not like I'm not trying to do that. The camera going crazy.
My weapon broke.
I remember the camera going so crazy when we played Emily. Okay, we'll need power. This game is so polite, it'll close the doors for you.
Looks pretty weak. I just need some...
Let's see, I need gas tank. Okay, empty gas canister. Yeah, turn off that instant death steam, which somehow exists in this world.
This definitely needs fuel.
Really? What? You're still alive? Give me a break, man. Two shotgun shells to the face. And yet it's still alive. And a handgun bullet. Like, what? Get out of here.
strangled all life from my body. Are you under the impression? Yes. No. I was supposed to die. What does that mean? That you were supposed to die. I'm the catalyst. I had to die to make the story happen. What are you referring to, Jerry?
30 years ago, Frederic needed me to die.
You're not making any sense, Jeremy. Find your focus.
Hey! I cheated everyone. I didn't play my part. Hey! I escaped my doom. My destiny.
Again, find your focus.
Hey, I'm right here. What the hell is going on? Now everything is wrong. Nothing is in place. I'm right here!
Calm down, Mr. Conby. What do you want?
Were you not talking to Jeremy right now?
I haven't seen Jeremy all day. Are you all right, Detective?
No. Actually, I don't think so. Well, maybe. I'm gonna go look for Jeremy.
Good. Let me know if you find him.
Jeremy was calling out for help, but Comby couldn't figure out where the voice was coming from. For a moment, Comby wondered if the boat itself was Jeremy, or if he was below it somehow. It didn't matter right now. Jeremy was clear on one thing. He wanted Comby to get the steamboat running and out of the mud.
Dearest Dr. Manzetti, I find myself in a losing battle with my patient. As I've disclosed in my previous letter, his delusions have him complete.
Okay, McCaffrey's room. Over here.
Surprisingly neat. Maybe I've been selling that old barfly short. Looks like McCarthy has something hidden inside. Why would McCarthy lock this up? Was he trying to keep Grace from completing the shape? If so, couldn't she have just made another drawing?
I saw something from over here, no? Not going into Ruth's room, unfortunately.
What the hell happened in here?
Oh. Somebody knocked the bear over, and it wasn't me. bastards. Oh, okay. So they kind of did something with the statues in Edward's story. Got a bunch of axes.
There's something missing.
Oh, it's hidden stash. Okay, is there anything in this room? I'm still looking for something to pop up at some point in time. And that would be no. No, that doesn't work. I don't know if that works either. I think it's this one. Nope, it's doing it by itself. It's like lamp. That's your clue. Oh.
This looks familiar. How am I back at the office? Jeremy's never been here.
Writing desk key.
That's me, isn't it?
How long had it been since I drowned myself in drink and depression? It had all felt so peaceful, slipping away into oblivion. A welcoming, dark voice wrapped around my mind like a heavy blanket. It turned off suddenly as I woke up from the sound of my office door closing shut. A messenger had left a telegram from Mrs. Saunders. She had a lead on where to find her husband and her kidnapped daughter.
telegram from Gabriella Saunders sent December 25th, 1928. My husband has returned to steal one of our most valuable paintings. I'm sure he means to sell it. If you hurry, I'm sure you can track him down. Gabriella Sanders. Oh, I'm sure the date means something. What? 7 December, 25 December, 1928.
God, I used to drink so much back then. When was this exactly? What case was I working? I think I need to figure out where I'm going first.
Oh, I do? Okay. Oh, I need more than that. Photograph of a man. Really? Everything isn't in the office? Okay.
Huh. I think I need to figure out where I'm going first.
Okay. There's something else I didn't pick up. Where? Oh, there's another thing in there. Chrome newspaper clipping from December 23rd, 1928. Philanthropist Teddy Saunders goes mad, kidnaps child. Mrs. Saunders says her husband has stolen a painting and needs to sell it. Check out Thornhill.
I remember this case. Some kid got taken by her father, headed out of state. But he had made a mistake by selling a painting that his wife actually cared about to a collector named Thornhill to fund his venture. That's how I tracked him down. At least I think so.
Yeah, this was pretty clever. Again, I don't think this game is given enough credit for really how good it is. Very well done. Even if it's not like a traditional horror game. But, you know, the original Alone in the Dark also was not a traditional horror game. You know, that horror genre really didn't even exist at the time that this game was made. Or, I mean, sorry, at the time the original game was made. So this is really just a riff off the original game. Which is fine, you know, I mean, it's a remake. Reimagining, whatever you want to call it.
I can't go that way.
where's the bullet trail lead? Down the street. Down the alley.
Thornhill wasn't a bad man, but he had principles keeping him from handing out information about his deals. So he needed some convincing.
Well, every case can't be squeaky clean.
Yes, I mean, look at this stuff. This is cool. Follow the blood trail. Kind of leads you to where you need to go. But it's in here in 3D space.
Mr. Saunders had sold a valuable painting to Thornhill, hoping the money would carry him to wherever he was going. The painting, now leaning on the easel in Thornhill's bedroom, had a certain mesmerizing gloom that seemed to call out to me, telling me I was needed for something important. I felt myself falling into the painting, only being brought back by Thornhill, thrusting an address to a Hotel St. George into my hand, and asking me to get the hell out.
I don't remember this at all. But I can't say it didn't happen.
Okay, whipping out the jump scares. Oh, am I sneaking? Can I use my flashlight and sneak? Tiptoe through the tulips. And am I still sneaking, or can I just walk like a normal person? Got Molotov, so that must mean we have some combat. Oh, can't drive, apparently.
On my way to the hotel, the Morgan gang caught up with me. I owed them money, a lot of it. I can't remember what for, probably some dumb gambling debt growing in size for each payment missed. I punched one of them out, and I sent the others packing. It was a stupid move. They'd be back. Great remorse.
I think they already know where I am. Oh, really? Yeah, some really cool settings. It's bad so many people are upset about what this game isn't, or isn't even trying to be, versus what it is. You know, which is just a action puzzle game with some horror elements. You know, a horror setting, but not necessarily a horror game. Except for that giant rat. That's a horror. Yeah, it's totally okay for games like this to exist. They don't have to be the cookie cutter or super innovative horror game. They can just be a really tense action game. It's okay.
Life is a stage play performed to no one, applauded by no one, and wanted by no one. A story already written, meant to play out in one way only. I wrote my book in order to explain that there might be more to life, that free will isn't truly free unless it moves against the expected. In retrospect, I think my ambition was hubristic. Yermi had a much more humble suggestion. What if we all just went home?
Hotel bill dated December 25th through, or 21st through 25th, 1928. $12. Single room dinner telegram. $12. Highway robbery.
In the hotel ledger, I recognized the handwriting of the signature, Ted Stryker. It was him. I could feel it. It was the kidnapper I was hunting. I put on my knuckles and hurried up to his room. Something about that name, Ted Stryker, rings a bell. Feels vaguely familiar.
Put on my knuckles. Went up there. Punched that kid's lights out. Oops.
I recognize this room, but I didn't catch up with them here. I must have followed them. But where?
David Thornhill's business card. New Orleans. Fine Art Gallery. Telephone directory. DeWitt Boarding School. No, this is New Orleans. That's Thornhill.
That's right, he was running away, ditching his old life and marriage in New Orleans to find something better in Tallahassee. And he took his daughter with him against the will of the mother. That's why she hired me. But I stopped him. I caught up with him at the Pearl River Bridge. Pearl River. This is where I caught up with him. This is what the Dark Man wanted me to revisit. But I'm still not seeing it. What am I forgetting?
About where you punched that kid's lights out? I mean, that is super embarrassing. What's this boat doing here? Profane totem.
Edward had heard the whispers for years. When he lived in Brooklyn, it was only on rare occasions, like when he as a child climbed that tall tree in Central Park, or when he almost drowned in the Hudson River, trying to save his despaired mother. The whispers became more common as he moved to New Orleans, but still rare enough to be ignored. Now as he walks the halls of Derceto, he knows what is calling him. He doesn't want to admit it, but the dark young in the conservatory is telling him to sacrifice the cabri and corn.
I can't believe I didn't recognize you.
I looked a little different back then, I suppose.
Was any of this real?
How do you mean?
This day, just... so much is happening. I can't... I think I've lost my head. Do you need me to apologize? I mean... I am sorry. I don't think I need to begin to explain. You're just a kid, Grace. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean for it to happen.
Lies. More lies.
No, really. I thought I was being a good guy by handing you over to your mother. I didn't know. I couldn't have known that she wouldn't care about you.
I don't know how this works. What is this for?
Some form of admission of guilt. Maybe acceptance. It's what the Dark Man wants.
I guess we just watch my father die again then.
You think he's alive?
I know he is. He's down there, scared that he won't be able to get out. That he will drown with his daughter again.
What are you saying? We gotta save him!
We? Do it yourself. I'm down there with him, remember?
Okay.
Can I really save them? This all happened so long ago.
I mean, I would rather not.
I have to find a way to get down there. I have to see it with my own eyes. There was a boat at the house where I entered. If I can raise the bridge, I should be able to get to the car.
I mean, what's done is done, Edward. Ooh, physics went a little crazy there.
This must be where the bridge is operated. Nothing's happening. It's like something's holding it back. There we go. I should be able to drive it close.
I mean, I can hear them, but...
Carnby, are you okay?
Don't leave me alone.
What the hell have you been doing?
What's going on here? Look at this mess!
I'm sorry, Mrs. Thompson.
Don't make me kick you out of this house. Now get out!
Hey, detective. Mr. Carnby. I'm really worried about you.
I'm okay. I just need to catch my breath for a moment.
This place? There are some very disturbed figures around here. And I don't think it's just the patients. I've been reading some things about how Derceto has a deranging effect on people. I think it might explain things.
What?
Just take it easy, okay? I'm gonna go find a way into Dr. Gray's apartment. I want to know what he's hiding.
Emily, don't worry. I think I'm close. I'm gonna set everything right.
Just be careful. Detective, am I glad to see you. Lock the door, will you? I don't think Dr. Gray would appreciate us snooping around.
What's going on here? This feels so strange.
There's a book missing.
What did you do?
I was just rearranging the books.
Well, come on, let's check it out.
All right, hold on a minute. Okay, let me get a refill of water there.
think I'm beginning to understand. Dr. Gray is dealing with some kind of mass delusion.
What were you saying about mass delusion?
Derceto seems to have a deranging effect on people living close by. It has a history of creating cults devoted to some nature goddess. Even the name Derceto refers to the cult existing here before the Civil War. Derceto was the name of an ancient fertility goddess worshipped in Syria. Dr. Gray and his friends, however, seem to prefer the black goat of the woods with 1,000 young, or Shub-Nigroth. And that name can only have come from my uncle's twisted mind.
Good to finally meet you, Mr. Hartwood. I'm here on the behalf of your brother Philip. You were expecting me, weren't you?
Yes. You're from Derceto, no?
That's right. I just wanted to ask you a few questions to see if there is anything I can do to help you and your family.
Okay.
I understand you're full of imagination. You make up a lot of things.
I suppose.
And you obsess over them.
Okay, that part's the same.
That mark on the floor looks like talisman positions, but from which direction should I look at it?
The Snake Dagger, a monograph by Yael Klein. In Ludwig Prin's book on page... The symbolic value of the shape becomes more apparent when reading about the use for the dagger. In the passage of possession...
You think all of them are in this cult business? Even Jeremy?
I'm not sure any of them have a choice at this point. We just need to find a way to stop all of this.
Furniture key.
Has that been there this whole time?
Hello?
Detective Carnby?
Who is this? Jeremy?
Jeremy is with the Dark Man. You can't save him.
Well, I've done everything he wanted so far, and there's just one more thing on the list. I expect him to keep his promise and return Jeremy unharmed.
Get out, Detective. While you still can.
is the X. The line and the X.
You okay? You look a little frazzled.
Just stupid telephone.
I know. I tried calling the police earlier. The telephone is completely dead.
It's not... Yeah, no, the telephone isn't working. Miss Hartwood, I think you're gonna want to see this.
Is there something in the closet?
Yeah, there is. You don't see the very obvious gate leading to whatever Jeremy's madness is serving up next?
I don't understand. Are you making some kind of fashion metaphor? I'm sorry, I don't have time for this. Can you just tell me what you're doing?
You don't see this. It's fine. It's fine. Catch you later.
Are you going inside the closet?
Yeah. You got a problem with that?
No. Do what you think is right, detective.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Goodbye, Miss Hartwood.
Oh, that's right. We have to go through the war section. Or does he have a war section? I guess we'll find out here soon. Seems like he does. Nice pick. We have the flare gun section, though. I mean, this section is pretty cool.
We found the ancient stellarium perched on a cliff facing the Arctic Ocean.
Hey, you! What are you doing here? What is this place?
Turn back, detective. You're not wanted here.
Whoa, take it easy. I'm not your enemy.
Oh, you're wrong, detective. You're wrong.
Should have made friends.
Of course, the Taurus. I figured you wouldn't want your stars aligned, Jeremy, or maybe that is what you need to temper that mania of yours.
Oh, we're just hugging. Yeah, this is cool stuff here.
Jeremy?
Oh, sorry about that.
I did everything! Aren't you happy? Stupid charlatan! What more do you want from me? You want me to lose my mind?
Oh, my lord! Doctor! Please! Quick!
Jesus. What are you thinking, compadre?
You awake? You are awake. Mr. Conby's up.
Hey, buddy. I thought you'd be knocked out for the rest of the night. Come on out and join us, will you? I'll save you some gumbo.
Good to have you back. You gave us all a good scare. What happened? You had a psychological breakdown. Sorry for manhandling you, but you're being violent, you see.
You stabbed Jeremy and then punched Dr. Gray.
Are they okay?
Jeremy's a little strange, but everything's back to normal.
Really?
All thanks to you, combat. You want to try standing up?
Well, if it isn't the hero of the day. How are you feeling, Detective?
Never better. How about you two? Hey, Jeremy, I didn't do too much damage, did I?
Things are fine. Very quiet.
What's up with him? Painkillers?
No. You see, despite you having the finesse of a one-eyed butcher, you managed to lobotomize dear Jeremy.
I did what?
It's actually quite impressive. It's not like I hadn't considered it myself. I just wish Jeremy could have been helped without reducing his personality to that of an oyster.
But he's gonna live.
Of course. As long as someone keeps feeding him, he'll outlive the best of us.
Does Emily know about Jeremy's condition?
Yes. She seems to be handling it quite well under the circumstances.
Hello.
Hey, Ruth. Glad to see you made it back to Derceto.
You too, Detective. Make sure to stay for the festivities. It's no Mardi Gras, but it ain't bad.
Good to see you back on your feet, Detective. Have some gumbo.
Thanks. I'll save it for later.
I ain't trusting anything you're cooking, crazy lady.
What are you looking for?
Just keeping an eye out for the storm. Radio says it could be a wild one.
All right. right, tell me, what the hell's about to happen here?
Every year we have a little turn the page ceremony by the tree. It's symbolical. It's like life has its cycles of grief and happiness. You know? Just like a tree facing the seasons. Things change, but remain the same.
That is one impressive tree.
More impressive than you could ever imagine.
Give Grace something to play with. What? Oh, did I pick that up at some point in time?
Hey, kid. What are you up to?
Nothing much.
Yeah? Anything I'm gonna have to pay for? You're bored, aren't you? Yeah, I can tell. You want to see if we can tear your mother away from the play?
Can you believe they're still going? It's been hours. You forgot this.
Well, I just didn't want you to think we had abandoned you in there.
Can we go home?
Yes, please. Can we?
What? You guys didn't like the play?
It was all right. A little difficult to follow.
Oh, I agree. Let's just say there were moments where it left me alone in the dark.
Oh, God.
That's the name of the play.
Whoa, what do you know?
Did you like it, sweetie?
There should have been a hedge maze.
A hedge maze?
Uh-huh. And pirates. That would have been fun.
It's from the old games, the originals.
Maybe next time.
Oh, are we not finding a boss? Oh, okay. That's interesting. All right, well, I guess that's it. This is meowmurai. You've been watching Alone in the Dark 2024, running on the PlayStation 5. Yeah, boy, that's an interesting ending. I'm not sure what to think of that, because now it's, you know, Edward and Emily as a couple. And then they've adopted Grace? It kind of doesn't really make sense to have that ending. The other ending made a lot more sense, Emily's ending. But that being said, yeah, it's kind of cool that you can get different endings. They did think that ahead of time. You know, knowing the game that is a little bit on the shorter side. Although I don't consider this short. I consider this just the right length. You know, a game that's anywhere from 8 to 15 hours, I think is perfect. You know, after that, then once you start getting into the 16 plus hours, then boy, you better make sure that your content is compelling. And you know, quite frankly, a lot of games don't have compelling content that lies beyond that. So I personally am happy with the game. Again, I think of this game of what it is and what it's giving me, and it is a you know, it's a mystery thriller, not a horror game. You know, again, it has a horror setting, but it's not out to necessarily scare you. It is out to give you some like chilling backdrops and a very, very dark mood, but not, you know, boo, scare you, or, you know, leave you shivering, wondering, you know, what to do and how to fight something. Yeah, and it also has, you know, I think fairly good combat, you know, fair combat, modern combat. It's not relying on you know, the narrative that the main character doesn't know what they're doing. Therefore, that's why they have bad combat, which I always thought was a you know, a complete scam for just not being able to implement good combat. You know, I think the controls really work really well. I think the art can be really stunning at times. I think they really did a good job with that. And for the most part, I mean, the frame rate kept a pretty consistent rate, so that way you weren't necessarily distracted by that. Both the actors did a great job, and all the supporting cast did a great job. So I think it's very convincing as far as the acting and the motion capture and the animation on the faces. I think that was good stuff. It's kind of a shame that this didn't capture the fancy of everyone. I think depending on what kind of expectations you go into with this game, you may be disappointed if you're looking for survival horror, which is not what this is. This is not a survival horror game. So, you know, I hate to say that it might be a little bit on you if you're coming into this thinking that this is going to be the next Silent Hill, or the next Resident Evil, or the next Fatal Frame. It is definitely not that, and at no point in time did it ever advertise that. In fact, really the demo of the game that came out before the release of this, I think that gave you a pretty good idea of what kind of game it was, and you know, what kind of horror kind of horror backdrop you were going to get from it. You know, you weren't going to get the you know, the creepy, spooky, make you you know, quake in fear kind of horror. You know, like, again, that's just the backdrop to what is essentially a you know, kind of a thriller and a mystery. And as far as that's concerned, that's what it does well. I think it does it pretty well. You know, if you were also expecting like maybe a larger world to explore, it's not really traditionally what is done in this kind of genre. I know, like, I mean, I think this is more closer to like the Sherlock Holmes games, you know, that Frogwares does. Maybe you could even consider like the Frogwares, you know, Cthulhu Sherlock Holmes mashup that they did. You know, Sherlock Holmes 1 that they did a while ago. I think that's closer to what this game is than a Silent Hill or a Resident Evil. And as long as you know that going into it, I think you can be happy with what's here. Again, I know there are some criticisms of the game, but I tend to notice that the criticisms of the game are from, you know, kind of the, you know, the more gatekeeper-ish people about horror games. You know, horror games have to follow some sort of certain rules. You know, they can't have a certain kind of camera, or they have to have a certain number of puzzles, or they can't be too action heavy, or, you know, they can't have controls that are too modern, or they're not modern enough. You know, so there's like a lot of layers of gates that somebody might have, you know, going into this thinking it's going to be a survival horror, which again, it's not a survival horror. You know, it's a mystery thriller with a horror setting. And, you know, I think both of these stories are actually pretty good. Again, I don't know about that ending. I don't know if that's like the true ending or what, but I'm not sure about Edward's ending. That's a pretty weird ending to have. Just to have them both be a couple, weird, I must say. But this ending is, I guess, like the more traditional happy ending, I suppose, because nobody dies in this one, unlike the ending we played with Emily, where pretty much everybody died, except for Grace and Edward. You know, so you only had 3 survivors on that original ending, which I thought was kind of more appropriate for the kind of story this game is. You know, I don't know. Maybe we just got lucky and we collected all the correct things, made all the correct choices, and we got what would be considered a Hollywood-esque ending. But yeah, I think I'll play this again at some point in time. You know, I think this was an enjoyable enough experience where, you know, and a short enough experience where, you know, you can play it over and over again. You get some good replay ability from this. Plus, there are 2 additional endings, which we still haven't seen, or 3, I think. They're bad endings, and you have to work to get the bad endings. But, you know, if you're into that kind of thing, then it may be fun for you to chase that on your own. But we'll stop it there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you at the next stream.